Okay, I want to say hi guys and welcome. What's up? I've got a quick little simple art video here. You know, I've always said that I'm not absolutely great. I'm not great at drawing anatomy and the human figure and all that, and I don't know what's harder, drawing backgrounds or characters. But still, in this video, hi guys. In this video, okay, I'm going to show you some breakthroughs and improvements and some of my own ideas that I've been having recently in terms of drawing characters, and I've found a couple of cool methods, I'll say that. One method is this, just really quickly, I'm not going to ramble, I'm just going to show you quickly here, okay. One is like this, okay. One is I start off with like a light opacity, like semi-transparent layer. I'll do some rough scribbles, like lines like this. I could do it might look like I'm going absolutely crazy there. It's just absolutely reckless, crazy, like just chaos lines basically. I have it very like low opacity, meaning very transparent, but just about seeable, this layer. And if I want to, I can actually work out where the ground's going to be first. I'll just a line there on him, and I may just work from the bottom up. And I'll just, I'm kind of like taking my pen off. I'm not keeping the pen down the whole time and not being very stiff. I'm going very like I'm just brushing. I'm making like brushing strokes. I'm doing a line, taking the brush off, and then putting it back down, and then doing another. It's like all these wavy lines, and they're like wavy like from bottom to top. And what it is like sometimes I'll take the brush off and on and put it back down at different times. It's like scribbling, basically, just scribble sketching, as I say. I may not even bother with a ground plane first. I might want to start from the top first. Okay, making sure that's lower opacity. It kind of helps me be a bit. It's easier on me, you know, so to speak. And I'll make it really simple sometimes, or I may make more details. And I'll just see little things like you see all these little tiny little marks and things, and these bigger lines. And as I'm doing these like waves that are crossing across each other and stuff. Some more curvy, some more like zigzaggy, some are more curvy. There'll be like curves and circular motions, and it's just a kind of very natural, very loose, natural kind of motion I'm doing, trying to keep it within an area, like the height of a body, of a human body, trying to imagine. As I'm doing this, I'm imagining where halfway is going to be where the hips are, you see, and then the shoulders and the head, you see. Can you see what I'm doing now? What I like to do is do this. I like to do, like, as I'm doing these motions and these strokes, okay, these random strokes, yeah, then from there I'll actually choose where I might see a shape. Like I may decide that this is going to be a head here, you see, and I don't use the whole thing, I just ignore some of the mess. I'm looking through this mess to imagine and try to see something as though I'm looking at clouds. Okay, now already I can see, like I can imagine, I can see an arm and a leg basically. So let's imagine there's a shoulder line here and a hip line here. I'm going to put them on an angle. And I imagine that there's a spine down the middle here. So if I go on another layer here, you can see like I'm doing a head, a shoulder line, and a hip line, and imagining that the neck's there. You see, this is curving down. This is an arm. See, waving. You see, and all that. So if I take that off quickly and go to another layer now, you can see what I'm looking at. I can see like it looks like some kind of dress or something here. Maybe some young girl in a dress or something there, you know, and you can put the two legs in. Maybe she's walking or something, you know. And yeah, you see, you can put it in, then you can draw on top of that, you see. Maybe she's waving. You see, and you just see these shapes, you know, and it's not perfect, but you get the idea, right? And now let me just say something just really quickly as well. We don't have much time in this video because I'm using Bandicam and it's got like a time limit on this particular screen recorder, okay? I'm going to make another video showing you another method of drawing characters as well. So let me just show you this first, and in the next video I'll show you that, okay? It depends what order you're watching these in. Yes, I may start with a scribble, light opacity. It just helps, I think, because when you get it full opacity, it looks more like definite lines, and it's kind of too much, I feel. So I have a low opacity first, and then I'll do some lines, and then I'll imagine where the ground is. Maybe the ground's right at the bottom there, or maybe the ground's going to be like here, and the set, so that means the character's standing within this circle, and you know, I'll imagine whatever I can see. So I'll be doing these lines. I have a fairly thin brush, by the way, a fairly thin pen I'm using. I mean, you could use a big thick one like that, and that could actually be really useful. You could have like bigger brush strokes and stuff like that, or I usually keep it like one thickness the whole time. But you know, I'm just saying that that's one way you could do it if you wanted to do that. You know, you can see if I make that, and then you make it much fainter right at the very last minute. You make it very faint. You go on top on another layer, you see, and you start drawing. And I'll even bring that down a little bit too, just while I'm working it out, because this is just a rough first sketch, you see. So I might just make it that an arm. I might make this a body. You see, this is a leg here. But you've got like using the whole thing, and then you've got like adding stuff. Like I just added that other leg there. That isn't actually part of the scribble that I'm looking at behind, but I'm just adding it in. You add things. You see, some of the scribble you ignore, and some of the drawing you make from it, you actually add things that you're not actually seeing in the script, like this arm, for example. But it just gives you a good base start, you see. So I could do a big character here, let's say, in a hoodie, in a baseball cap. Yeah, he's waving to somebody, see. And that's like my first initial thing. See, and what I'll do is then I would draw on top of those. I'd always bring down my opacity and make another layer on top to do better art. So I'm working layer upon layer upon layer until I get the best proper drawing. So I'll do a rough sketch on top of these scribbles, then I'll do whatever amount of layers I need to do to get the proper art on top of those. Now, before we finish this video, just really quickly, I've got a little bit of time just to show you. Don't forget, you can utilize things like 3D like this that we've got in Fire Alpaca, this software, or use another software, and you can, like, as I say, you know, turn the camera and get different angles and use things like this that might help you. So I could go there, bring that down, and then I'll just show you my next tip here as well. So this time I'm going to use this. You don't have to use this, but I could work this, you know. I could start with a circle, maybe, you know, same things. I could draw the head first and then start doing a scribble like down, see, all the way down. Same with this one. I could maybe even put the head over here and then change it. It could be a big head or a small head, it's up to you there. And then I can just decide, maybe put a couple of like wavy arms to show where arms are. See, hey man, he's talking to that guy. This one's going to be looking very nervous. Put a couple of legs in. Just imagine where the legs are. You don't have to say that this part of the scribble is a leg. You can just decide as you go along, you know. And then literally turn off that, you know, if you want to, and then go on another layer and just start drawing your characters, you know, just drawing the characters out. So this character's talking to this one. I've got no time that the thing's going to cut out this video at any moment, but you get the idea. You can draw on top of these and work this out. I think it's some really good methods of doing it, and it just comes from nothing, basically, you know, just from having a basic bit of some marks down. But something like this is good for perspective, as I say, using these 3D things. It gives you some perspective to look at, as I say. Okay, I'll check you guys out in the next video, okay? Or hopefully you'll check me out in the next video, or check this out. Check art out, man. Check your imagination out. I'll see you again in the next video. Thanks for watching.